you see these signs, you better look up. When you see these signs, you better look up. Yeah, I've been walking through the fire, clothes smell like doubt. Seen the waves over my head, still I never drown. Mama praying in the kitchen, tears on the tile. Say the world getting darker, but that's been for a while. Scroll for the rumors, every headline was. Everybody got a platform, nobody show. I've been hearing in my spirit, boy, your time close. Got my eyes past the clouds, I don't ride low. Used to chase change, now I chase change. Used to pop pain, now I drop shame. I was stuck, I was broke in my own mind. Then he said, watch close when I show signs.
When you see these signs, look up.
Your redemption's getting near.
Don't run,
Keep your head to the sky.
don't fall,
Yeah, we made for the storm.
stand bold. When you see these signs, look up.
Every tear, every scar,
That's love,
he gon' pull you out the dirt.
no fear.
When you see these signs,
Know your redemption here.
yeah. I remember late nights, eyes red, no sleep. Heart heavy like the rent, pain 7 feet deep. Homies lost on the corner, stuck in the loop. I was one bad choice from the same root. Then I heard that still voice in the backlash. Son, I paid that price, that's past tense. Every time I slip, Grace said stand up. Every time I trip, he still manned up. See the storms getting closer, I don't panic though. Cause the hands on my life set the tempo. Prophecies playing out, I ain't surprised. I just tighten up my walk, keep my lamp high.
When you see these signs, look up.
Your redemption getting near.
Don't run,
Keep your head to the sky.
don't fall,
Yeah, we made for the storm.
stand bold. When you see these signs, look up.
Every tear, every scar,
That's love,
he gon' pull you out the dirt.
no fear.
When you see these signs,
Know your redemption here.
I've been down bad, he was still that close. I was off track, he was still that road.
Still care.
I was lost, but I never left his sight. Every sign's
Just
just
a signal in the night.
hands up high when the sky turn red. Even if I'm hanging on by a thread, I know who gon' catch me if I drop. So when I see the signs, I look up, not to stop.
These signs, look up.
Your redemption's getting near.
Don't run,
Keep your head to the sky.
don't fall,
Yeah, we made for the storm.
stand bold. When you see these signs, look up.
Every tear, every scar,
That's love,
he gon' pull you out the dirt.
no fear.
When you see these signs,
Know your redemption here.
redemption here.
Shalom, shalom.
Shalom, Zion.
Hope everybody had a blessed Shabbat. I know we mixed last week, but y'all know life can be life sometimes around here. But it's a lot been going on. I mean, it's a lot going on. I got a lot of videos. I don't know if you. We got a lot to talk about.
Yeah, it's been a lot going on in the earth. More signs of the times. The Most High showing us the wicked, oppressive devils that we under on a daily basis. Is so clear and evident to most of us that we are living amongst the devil's children.
And you know, we can't just point out the Caucasians or whatnot. We gotta point out our bullshit too. You know,
Yeah.
it's a disturbing situation that happened. You know what I'm saying? Like where we live at, and
Oh my God.
man, it's terrible. And it's like a lot of us, I ain't gonna say a lot of our people, but we got some of our people that's cowards, you know, and do things without thinking, and it's just a messed up situation, man. I wouldn't wish this on none of my people, you know.
It's heartbreaking. It's devastating.
It's devastating
how we are quick to see our own people as the enemy and acts of violence against our own, but are very humble and docile towards the other nations.
Exactly, yeah. Shalom, Brother Hewing.
Shalom, brother.
Glad to see you up in the building.
Do I have time to get a Kleenex?
Yeah.
Sorry. My bad.
Go ahead. Yeah, but man, it's a terrible situation. I don't know. Shalom, brother Linzel. Shalom. But I don't know if y'all heard about this. Damn, why does this thing keep doing this? I don't know if y'all heard about the situation that happened in Flint, Michigan, where the little 9-year-old girl, life got taken in her sleep. Somebody shot into these people's house 230 times. I mean, this is, you know what I'm saying, like 230 shots was shot into this little girl home, where it unalived her and it wounded her older sister, I think, which was 12 years old. Mm-hmm. And man, it's heartbreaking as hell, man, because this girl was 9 years old, man. Little beautiful girl. You know, she reminded me of my daughter. My daughter, she's 7 years old. I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine, you know what I'm saying, something like that happening to my daughter.
You told him how many shots?
Yeah, 230 shots. Like, who the hell, you know what I'm saying, does that, man? Like, you got to be some goddamn coward to do that. You know what I'm saying? And it takes this little girl life, and you know, man, just seeing her mother and her father, you know what I'm saying? It's like, man, they probably never recover from this. Mm-mm. You know, it's like.
And the last update, had they got anybody?
They ain't got nobody yet. But I'm like, man, they need to turn their goddamn self in, man. You got enough balls to do that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I know whoever did it, they seeing this shit on the news. Y'all know what, they know what house they shot up and shit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? There had to be more than one person involved. Who the hell got a goddamn 230 round drum or clip or whatever? You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking 2 people had to have some 100 shots each, so that's 2 people, and then another one probably had a 30 shot round or whatnot. Yeah, Brother Huey, it's a trip, man. That's what I'm saying, Brother Linzel, man. That's what I'm saying. Like, who the hell got 230 rounds to shoot?
Yeah, it was a really big local story. So they already buried.
They just buried her.
The little sister.
Yesterday. Yeah, yesterday, man. But I'm like, god damn, man. Like.
And her sister got injured really bad.
Yeah. Like, if you got some beef with somebody, when you got to take it to that extremes, man, then you need to be going and walking up on that person, you know what I'm saying? Lie down in the bushes or something, but, man, it takes this innocent person's life, man. It's like, god damn.
And I want to add to this that there was another boy not in the same area a few years ago, who was actually my patient, who got shot in his bed asleep, just like this little girl.
Yeah.
But he was, he's paralyzed from the chest down, but the exact same thing. They didn't find the person, so it's just like, when I heard about it, it just reminded me of my patient. So, we do live in some violent areas where, people feel like they can commit these crimes and hurt other black people, because there's some of us who just don't value the lives of others.
Right.
Of other black people.
Exactly. And Lindsay, man, I thought the same thing. Like, man, that's like you goddamn going to war. That's like going to war. You know what I'm saying? 230 shots, man. This girl was innocent, man. 9 years old. Mm-hmm. Like, man, that shit had me in my feelings, man. I'm like, God damn, for real? Is that serious?
You didn't even care about bringing the beef directly to the person.
To that person, right?
You was willing to stand in the middle of a street and just riddled. The house was riddled, y'all.
Yeah.
From the roof down.
Oh, yeah. It was shots that was fired in the basement. Every goddamn inch of the goddamn house was you know what I'm saying, had holes in it or whatnot, man. And it's like, goddamn, I just can't get it. I can't get it. You got these young dudes out here. You even got old heads out here. You know what I'm saying? That's, no snitching and all that shit, man. But me, myself, though, if I was to know somebody, I'd snitch for free. You ain't got to pay me. For that, I ain't got to get paid. I ain't got to get no more goddamn reward money or whatever and shit. Yep. I'm fucking telling, man. And they can, and anybody can look at me as whatever though, man. But what if that happened to one of somebody, who got that mentality, you know what I'm saying, that we ain't gonna snitch or whatever. What if that happened to your goddamn daughter or something? Or your son? Or your baby? Or what? It could have been a baby or whatnot, man. That shit crazy as hell, man. I just don't understand it, man. Our people wanna, be in that type of lifestyle, the gangster lifestyle or whatnot, man. And where did that shit come from, man? We didn't goddamn make that shit up. That ain't our goddamn culture.
The Italians.
Exactly, right. It's the Italians, the goddamn Caucasians. It's they goddamn, you know what I'm saying, culture or whatnot. Mm-hmm. Right, exactly, right.
And
Go ahead.
And unfortunately, that's what something like you were saying, holding our people accountable to. Some of them need it. The Most High know. He know that some of them are so wild and out of control that he gonna have to have the oppressor use the oppressor as a vessel.
Yep.
To, I don't know exactly how to word it, but to get these YNs in line. In line,
exactly. Right, because you know what I'm saying? Me myself, I would be opposed of, the National Guard and the police and all that stuff to get our community under control or whatnot, because I feel like we can self-govern. Self-govern ourselves or whatnot, but I gotta take that shit back.
But go ahead. There's a sector in our community that are just wild. What does scripture say? Bulls in a net?
Yeah.
Like
a wild bull. I know y'all know what we talking about or whatever. Somebody want to throw the scripture up. But man, this some crazy shit, man. Look, I want to go ahead and get on right into it, man. Because this was some whole ass shit, man. This is some bullshit. I'm still pissed off about it, man. I just can't believe, man. You look at this little girl and see, man, it's like, God damn. Like, why? But let's get to the video and I'll be right back, man.
Turn yourself in. My baby deserves justice.
Yes,
she was innocent.
Innocent. I had nothing to do with that.
She didn't deserve to settle.
I want to direct this to all the social media haters. You know what I'm saying? Stop speaking bad on my family, and y'all don't even know what's going on and what happened. Doing all this false stuff all over Facebook.
Tahari come from a good family.
Very good family.
A mom and a dad.
Both sides. And people need to get that together and start speaking bad about my baby and about what's going on in my family.
Man, it's crazy, man, because, man, somebody gonna have to tell me something about mine, for real. I mean, my baby girl, and I only got one daughter. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think I can go on living life and just sitting back. You know, I wouldn't be able to watch my wife sit up and, you know, cry all day, and I wouldn't even, I couldn't live with myself. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't know the whole story and shit, you know, as far as why it was done, but there's no goddamn excuse why somebody should do this shit. You know what I'm saying? Knowing or not knowing that it's some kids up in that house, man.
Mm-hmm. The devaluing and disregard for one brown life to another. It's just, you have people out here, male and female, old and young, who just do not value the life of the person who looked like them.
Exactly, and this is why, and this is why it's so important for us to know who we are. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So we can value our lives and look, I can't do that to my brother. I can't do that to my sister or whatnot, because if I'm doing that to them, then I'm doing that to, you know, Yahushua or whatnot. I'm doing that to Christ.
Right. Because the intention was to kill.
Right, exactly.
Maybe not the baby girl, but your intention was to unalive somebody.
Exactly, right. And we all know bullets ain't got no names to it. Mm-hmm. They ain't got no names on it. You can't direct the bullet. Once that goddamn bullet come out that chamber or whatever, out that pipe, you can't bring that shit back. I wonder if the person who did this shit, you know what I'm saying, wish that they can bring this shit back. Mm-hmm. Because the way, you know what I'm saying, the mindset of our people out here today is that, oh, I'm glad your baby did and all that shit, and you know what I'm saying, your mama did, and all that. It's like that. The scriptures don't lie. You know what I'm saying? As far as what the scriptures say, the world gonna get colder and colder. Mm-hmm. People gonna get colder.
Yeah, in the last days.
In the last days or whatnot.
Men's heart's gonna be cold. Yeah, you know, it made me think about the curses.
Yeah.
Just the curses of the areas that we living in, mm-hmm. and the high crime and violence towards each other.
Yeah.
That's what it made me think about. I'm like, dang, you know, just to hear about the little boy I was taking care of, and then her, and all of this is a small city.
Yep.
So it's like, wow, we can't get away from these curses unless you're going to work yourself to death to pay to be in a, you know, more upper class zip code.
Yeah, but you know, you still got to watch it there too, though. You know what I'm saying?
Different curses.
Exactly, right. Exactly. But I just wanted to show y'all that, man. Condolences to the family. I couldn't imagine what they going through. You know, I didn't experience a young person, you know what I'm saying, life being taken. My nephew, he got hit by a car. He was dribbling a basketball on the street, and some dumb ass, you know, our people speeding down the street doing 60 or however fast he was going, but you know, the street, it was like 15. The speed limit was 15, but he was going like 60 or 70, whatever it was, and he hit a car, and that car hit my nephew on the sidewalk and instantly killed him. You know, and I remember me being in the house with my sister. You know what I'm saying? And all I heard was boom. You know what I'm saying? I heard a big ass loud noise outside and shit. And my first thing, I ran outside, and then, you know, I looked down the street and I seen, you know, these cars all mangled and all that shit. And then, you know, I ran toward the car because it was some kids that was in the car that got hit. You know, I guess they was just sitting in the car or something. So I'm going to check on them. And as I'm going to check on them, I see my nephew laying on the ground. And I didn't even know it was him. I just know it was a kid. And I ran. My sister, she had then came now. And, you know, she crying and she calling my nephew or whatever. And I go over and I look at him. And I'm like, oh, hell no, you know? And at this time, the dude that was driving the car, he didn't try to run. So my brother was there. Me and my brother, we hawked his ass down. It was a mob of people, you know what I'm saying, chasing after him or whatnot. And, you know, we caught him. And we caught him in the field. And everybody was, you know what I'm saying, beating on him, man. We was beating the hell out that dude, man. And we grabbed his ass and took him back, you know what I'm saying? Police, they grabbed him before they handcuffed him. Cause he was bloody. I just with all my might just bam, just hit him in his face, man. Blood flew all on the goddamn police. Blood flew everywhere, man. But I was like, man, that shit was crazy as hell, man. I'll never forget that. And man, I was real close with my nephew. Y'all, I mean, I get, you know, tore up about this shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's something I'll never forget. You know? That shit crazy, man. Like, our people got to, you know what I'm saying, like, get a hold of themselves and shit, man. I pray for these people, because, you know, that shit crazy, you know? That shit crazy as hell, man. I miss the hell out of my nephew. I really, that's some crazy shit, man, you know? I would never wish that on my people, man. You know what I'm saying? Cause and this happened, man. This happened like 2002, October. It's right before I met my wife. And, you know, it was times that we was together when we first met. You know what I'm saying? I was breaking down and she was like, damn, you know, like, cause I ain't never tell her, you know, like sit her down, like really explain about that shit. But, you know, after a while she found out about it, man. But that shit was, man, it's crazy. Cause I seen my nephew, you know what I'm saying, all mangled up and shit. And then I thought he was gonna be all right, you know, going to the hospital. And my ex-wife at the time, she was at the hospital, her and her sister, they came out and they was crying, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, you know, what y'all crying for? They said he was gonna be all right, because I heard through the grapevine that he was gonna be all right. And, you know, they just, I'm like, you know, I'm like, y'all don't be all, you know, he gonna be all right, you know what I'm saying? So they was coming out the hospital. I walked in and, you know, told them who I wanted to see and all that stuff. And then they was like, you know, well, you know, you got the, you know, the doctor want to talk to you. And I already knew right there. I'm like, man, I'm good. I don't even want to talk, man. I just turned around and left, man. Was crushed. I'm talking about crushed, man. But this shit, man, this shit got to stop, man. We can't be, you know, like harboring these people and protecting these people, man. And they doing shit like this, man. And not speaking about this shit, man. These kids can't even live their life and be innocent. Cause just like I said, man, my nephew, he wasn't doing nothing but playing basketball on the goddamn sidewalk, man. And this little girl, man, she wasn't doing nothing but sleeping in her bed 2-something in the morning. It's like, man, what the hell, dog?
Monsters.
Yeah, straight monsters, man. But, you know, I ain't trying to, you know what I'm saying, have no sympathy or nothing or whatnot, man. You know, it's at the end of the day, man, it's all in God's hands. You know what I'm saying? The Most High's hand. You know, some things we don't understand what the Most High, you know what I'm saying, what his will is or whatnot. We just don't. But I know that shit hurt on both stories or whatnot, man. And I ain't even know this little girl. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, god damn. I mean, that's still close to home.
Right. It's one of those situations when a little kid died by somebody else's ignorance and negligence. It's like the family never recovers. Your sister never, which is understandable, your sister was never the same
Nope.
after
Yep.
this, especially with the dumb, I remember the dumb Christian church, your other sister church,
Right.
telling her like her son was going to hell and some crazy stuff. Like
Right.
she had a lot of questions about where her son was going because he had passed.
Right. And my sister, she went through a lot. You know what I'm saying? She passed away probably a couple of years after my nephew passed away. So, man, that's crazy, man. You know, and I know that changed her. She was never the same.
Mm-hmm.
She was never the same, you know. But all to other things, you know what I'm saying? Just like I said, rest in peace to this little girl. Condolences to her family or whatnot. And I hope they find these people. Cause that's some out cold ass shit.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just be out there, you know what I'm saying, like that, especially to your goddamn people, man.
But a lot of our people is out cold towards
Right.
their own people. They
Fuck
not.
the bottom of the barrel, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. How wild can you be to just shoot up a house and not know who in there, if your target is even in there? But they ain't wild like that towards Esau. Very,
Right,
very docile
exactly,
and fearful.
yeah.
They afraid.
Right.
Esau can wrong them, and they will tuck tail. But when it's their own people, all this courage and boldness come out, and it's just them curses, that evil eye towards your brother.
Yeah, for real.
We can see
shit
that
crazy.
curse.
That shit crazy. Yeah, thanks, brother Linzel, man. Appreciate that. But off to another subject or whatnot. I know y'all probably been hearing in social media, the news, and all that stuff about this dude called Chud the Builder, or we call him Cheddar Bob over here. You know what I'm saying? Because he shot himself, shooting a unarmed black man or whatnot. You know, going around antagonizing people, calling them niggas and shit, and with the hard R. You know what I'm saying? And you know he got a gun on him while he doing this. So you know y'all already know he rage baiting.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Cause he know he can catch somebody out here. He know, okay, I can trigger one of these dudes, and you know what I'm saying. At the same time of me, you know, getting famous or whatnot, you know, I can take one of these dudes out and get off free.
Self-defense.
Self-defense.
That's what his goal was, sound like.
Right. Because somebody actually got him. Somebody actually put their hands on him or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if he had a gun. No, you know what? He ain't pull his gun because somebody else had a gun on him, and that other person was waiting on him to pull that gun. So he can, you know, do him or whatnot. And that'd be self-defense. But this dude, you know, he did get locked up. If y'all didn't know it, whatnot, he got locked up. He got $1 million bond, and they not gonna let him use the proceeds of the GoFundMe that a whole lot of his people had them put up. They then raised up about $300,000. You know what I'm saying? And that can get him out because it's like what 10% of $1 million or whatever. That would be like $100,000, and they got this man $300,000 to 48 hours just like that. So you know the mindset of these people, you know what I'm saying, that been donated to this dude. They got that same mindset as him. These niggas, you know, F these niggas.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
They stand in agreement.
They stand in agreement
with
exactly.
what he doing, freedom of speech, stand
Exactly.
your ground.
Mm-hmm. Right, exactly. Hold on, let me see.
I hadn't heard of him till you told me about him.
Yeah, they starting to call his ass Cheddar Bob now and shit because of the movie 8 Mile. Okay, yeah. Brother Huey said he donated to the guy that got shot by him or whatnot. That's what's up, man.
Oh, he shot somebody.
Yeah, he donated to the brother that he shot. A famous streamer is supposed to be paying his bond. Hey, you know what though? That's what I'm saying. I already thought that it's gonna be one of these rich dudes that's gonna, these rich racist dudes that was gonna pay this man bond or whatever and shit, man. So he can get out because they already know his ass is grass. You know what I'm saying? In that jail or whatever. Because it's dudes in that jail that's seeing this story. Mm-hmm. If they didn't snuck a phone in there, if they watching the news or whatever, you know what I'm saying? People talking about this shit, man. Let me see. Brother Huey said, you see the sis that shot the two lawyers? I seen that, but I don't know what that story about. I did see it. I need to get some information about that because I seen what a lady, they took her to jail and everything, but she shot two lawyers. I don't know if they passed or, what I'm saying, that they just got injured or whatnot. But yeah, I seen that. I just don't know the details of that story. Yeah, that's what I say. It's a lot going on, man. It's a lot. But I want to show you some of the things that this piece of shit was doing and just going around fucking with people, right? So we're going to get into this and I'll be right back.
Chimping out. Keep chimping out. Keep chimping out.
So he basically, going up to people calling them niggers and telling them, they chimping out and all that shit.
Once they get upset.
Right, exactly. Here go another one right here. Let me see something. Let me take this.
Yeah, I don't know how to convince you guys that I'm literally a fucking single guy with a camera. Somebody could come up and try to kill me right now. There's nothing I could do about it, but I'm protected by the Lord and I believe in his divine protection. Other than that, I'm literally a sitting duck. Shit sucks.
He is sitting duck, but he out here, you know what I'm saying, again, antagonizing people, calling them the N-word and all that, and
armed.
Yeah, armed, right. Let me see what Brother Huey, he said, speaking of this guy, there was a copycat around y'all area. He did this to a grandma at a gas station. Yeah, and it's copycats popping up, trying to be like him or whatever. You know what I'm saying? These people getting desperate, because they seeing him blowing up because he didn't want viral and shit with this story and all that, and now they're trying to do the same goddamn thing. Right, Brother Lindsay said he's setting the narrative. Exactly. Right. Here go another, this is a sister, she spoke on this. What the hell is going on? Oh, okay.
Can't you just?
Yeah, I'm
Tennessee
tripping.
laws might go ahead and keep Chud the Builder from using his GoFundMe money to bail himself out of jail. So, Chud the Builder, he is in jail currently with a $1.25 million bond because he's an antagonist and he's a big hard R word. He went out around the courthouse where he's already fighting stuff and decides to antagonize another African-American veteran man. He decides to go ahead and punch him in the face because that's what he needed. And then Chud the Builder decided to go ahead and lift up his blicky and use it. Everyone's talking about this is stand your ground, stand your ground. He was protecting himself. No. The stand your ground law does not stand when you are the antagonist, when you create the problem that you, quote unquote, had to defend yourself in. And when it comes to that money from that GoFundMe, so there's a law in Tennessee, right? Shout out to the war on drugs, where you cannot use any of your funds from an illicit crime to bail yourself out of jail. So when this goes back to the war on drugs, it goes back to drug conviction. So a drug dealer cannot use his money from his illicit crimes to then bail himself out of jail. Now, I don't know if this money will be go ahead and confiscated or if GoFundMe will return this back to all the people who decided to donate. But shout out to the ancestors and shout out to the systems that are placed in there to hold people of color back that are now keeping Chud the Builder in jail. Tell me what you guys think about this. Don't forget to drop some comments. Go check out my profile. This case is very interesting.
Yeah, so, hopefully this dude don't get out of jail. And they somebody take care of his ass in jail or whatever, we gonna see what happens. We gonna see what the end of this case gonna be, which I already know that they gonna slither his ass out of this shit. You know what I'm saying? Some type of way. We already know that, you know what I'm saying? But y'all know how these people is, man. I ain't gotta tell y'all how these people is. Off to something else that, this is crazy right here, man. I mean, and we know it's gonna get worse as far as, you know what I'm saying, the things that these people is doing. Mm-hmm. But Donald Trump, I don't know if y'all heard about this. I know y'all probably heard. I know, basically everybody done heard about this. A lot of people done heard about this. But Donald Trump got the Justice Department announces a $1.7 billion fund to compensate Trump allies in a deal to drop the IRS suit. Not a deal to pay the January the 6th rioters $1 million apiece. Like he already pardoning these dudes wasn't enough. Oh, they got to get compensated. You know what I'm saying? Because some of them went to jail.
Lost wages and
all that stuff. And that's crazy, man. That's crazy in itself, man. Let's hear some things.
I got white fatigue.
All right. Brother Linzel said at least we can look forward to the Edomite crying at the end of your string. Right. Brother Huey, he said, January 6th reparations. Exactly, yeah. Let's listen to this dude right quick and we'll come back.
Yes, it's true. Trump just announced that he's about to spend $1.7 billion of your money to go compensate his allies. You know those January 6ers? They're going to get this money. You went to work today. It's not going to be going towards cancer research or bringing down your bills. It will be flowing to the pockets of January 6ers. You will pay for their mansions. I wish I was making this stuff up, but you need to know about this because it's crazy.
The Justice Department has this new fund that was announced today, $1.7 billion.
Yeah.
Why should taxpayers pay for the January 6ers?
Well, it's been very well received, I have to tell you. I know very little about it. I wasn't involved in the whole creation of it and the negotiation. But this is reimbursing people that were horribly treated. It's anti-weaponization. They've been weaponized. They've been, in some cases, imprisoned wrongly. They paid legal fees that they didn't have. They've gone bankrupt. Their lives have been destroyed. And they turn out to be right. I mean, it was a terrible period of time in the history of our country. And they worked on it. I know the Justice Department, it's really been working on it very hard. There's been numerous other occasions over the years where things like this have been done, but these were people that were weaponized and really treated brutally by a system that was so corrupt, with corrupt people running it, and they're getting reimbursed for their legal fees and the other things that they had to suffer. Yeah, please. Daniel, go ahead. Hold it, Daniel, please.
Oh, wow, man. This shit. You can't make this shit up. Go ahead, baby. Go get you a
I'm so tired of these Edomites, y'all. I got white fatigue, something crazy, you know. I had asked my job to pick up a shift, and they sent me to a patient I had never worked with before. And it was like a one-time deal. Like I wasn't going to be coming back no other time. So I get there, and it's a supervisor there. Thank God the supervisor was there the whole time because I never worked with the patient. And it was a black nurse, midnight nurse, leaving as we was coming. So she was kind of telling me, like, you know, the patient kind of funny style, don't be up in her face. And I'm like, okay. So I'm there for a few hours, but the patient sleep. So we, you know, like going over stuff, whatever. So it's like time to actually start working. And supervisor like got me doing everything. I'm giving her medicine or whatever, but she sleep with the blanket over her face. So she ain't see me for the first few hours. So by the time she wake up, we really about to do some stuff for her, the supervisor introduced me to her. And she was like, you know, can you see her? And the angle, she couldn't really see me. So I got on my tippy toes. I'm like, hey, good morning. And she just looked and whatever. So we leave back out. We go back in, and the supervisor like, hold on, let me use the bathroom right quick. Me being new, never worked the patient before. I'm like, all right, well, you know, I just stayed there waiting on her to come back. So she just laying in the bed looking at me. I'm kind of looking at her. It was an aide there too. And so we was giving her a treatment. And so I'm looking at it like, okay, it's almost done. And she screamed for the supervisor. And I kind of had a feeling, but it was a black nurse that we relieved. So I just wasn't sure because it was a black nurse that works for her as a regular nurse. So the supervisor come in and the patient tell her like, I need to talk to you. And she like, all right, well, let's get you up and out of bed and stuff. Then we'll talk. And then I'm just standing there. I ain't touching her, even though I did touch her, but she don't know because she had the covers over her head. So she said it again, like, I need to talk to you. And I'm like, let me just read the room. So I told the supervisor, I'm gonna go wait out here in the living room. And the aide, who was white too, was like, yeah, she want to talk in private. And I'm like, whatever. So I go in the living room and I basically already know what it is. And I'm like, okay, I'm finna leave. I'm just gonna wait on them to come out. I don't want her to come out and I'm gone. So when the supervisor come out with the patient, the aide, they get her situated. I'm like, I go in the kitchen, I tell the supervisor, yeah, I'm gonna bounce. And the supervisor just looking at me crazy. And I was like, look, all I need you to do is let the company know I ain't do nothing and that this is just patient preference. And she was like, yeah, I don't know what's wrong with her. I already texted the company. I was like, look, I can read the room. You ain't got to say nothing else. I said, y'all have a good day, and I leave. And I go outside and I call the company, ask to speak to a supervisor, and I'm telling the supervisor, and they trying to say maybe she got an infection and her brain scrambled because she got black nurses. Most of her team is black. And I'm like, well, I don't know what the deal was. So the supervisor I actually trained with, she come outside. So we talking about it. And nobody tells me when I left to go in the living room, they closed the door and cut the cameras off. So I couldn't hear them. So I leave. I go to it. I had another patient lined up that day. I leave and go see this patient, and somebody from the company called me to apologize to me. And I'm like, well, I'm not exactly sure what happened. I'm just not stupid. And she was like, well, I don't want to repeat what she said. And I was like, well, I think somebody should tell me what was said because I didn't do nothing wrong. And she was like, well, she did tell us she don't want no black nurse. And I'm like, well, I figured that, but I was kind of still taken back because, again, there was a black nurse there. I saw her with my own two eyes. And so I was just like, you know what? I said, I ain't gonna lie, it make me feel a type of way. And then I told all them Edomites, this is something black people living in America have to go through. I know y'all don't really deal with that, so y'all don't understand. And that's why I said I had white fatigue, because this is a white gutter ball. This lady house was raggedy. It was a mess. She was a mess. And all I could come up with is she was paralyzed from a bad car accident. And she was younger, like early 30s. And all I could figure is she's miserable. My probably happy Friday morning black glow probably threw her off. And the company, I feel like, did not have my back. I feel like they was on some, well, we sorry, whatever. And that's why I said I'm so sick of white people right now, because how can you be poor and paralyzed and still be prejudiced? You can't even move. All you can move is your eyes and your mouth. That's all she could move. And she had the nerve to, whatever you want to call it, act funny style, be prejudiced, whatever. I did no harm to her. I'm so grateful there was a supervisor there the whole time. And I'm like, you know, for you to act funny and you depend on people. And I told the company this. You depend on people to sustain your life. Without people, you would die. And for you, this is how that's why I don't understand how black and brown people let them lay on top of y'all. I don't understand how y'all want to have kids with them, want to live amongst them, want to be rubbing shoulders and elbows with them, because deep down from the poets of the Edomite, they all are the same. God made them crooked. So when I see stuff like this, how Trump want to look out for them, how they look out for each other and stand together, because all of the supervisors wanted to tell me they were sorry, but ain't nobody checked that. And a black girl was like, well, the patient have a preference, they have a right. And I'm like, you're right, but that don't mean the company gotta go along with it. They could have let her know she was out of pocket, which they didn't. They just tried to blame it on maybe she got an infection and it's making her be out of her mind, because they rationale was, well, half her staff black, so we don't know what she tripping on. The majority of the nurses over there are black. And I'm like, I don't know either. But I know I ain't do nothing to this heifer. I will never come back here. But y'all did not have my back whatsoever. So I'm just done with white people. How can you be? I just don't. That was my biggest part. You live in a raggedy, like her place was through. And you know I don't play that.
Right.
I wouldn't have came back anyway off the way her place looked.
Right. But Brother Lindsay said your spirit threw her off. The devil trembles. You know, and that's what I thought. That's what I was thinking. Like she probably, the devil probably, you know what I'm saying, seeing her spirit. Like, nah, we gotta get her up out of here.
Yep, she was very, and I've taken care of a lot of paralyzed, quadriplegic people. A lot of them be bitter and miserable. And that's just what I think. I think I came in there chippery on a Friday, like, hey, it's a half a day. It's Friday, the sun's shining, good morning. But I always, even to my family, when we wake up, good morning, I'm always like, hey, good morning, and introduce myself. And she seemed, and then I go back to what the black nurse told me. The midnight nurse that left was like, stay up out of her face. She don't really like people like that. And I'm like, okay.
We know what type of people she don't like.
I was too chippery. I was a happy black girl. And she wanted somebody bitter or what. I don't know what she wanted, because I ain't stay long enough to find out. I dismissed myself up out of there.
Got up out of there quick. Well, Brother Huey said he's never involved with anything. His lying ass. Right,
yeah, he always playing dumb.
I didn't know nothing about you. A goddamn lie.
Trump stay playing dumb.
Right.
When he don't want to answer something directly, he play dumb. But y'all, we was looking at we was talking through the video. Y'all see all the Edomite lineup he got behind him. Mark Cuban.
I just peeped that out when she had, you know what I'm saying, like she was pointing at it, wait, that's Mark Cuban. And I'm thinking, like, I heard this before in the comments that I read from this goddamn video, but I couldn't picture Mark Cuban and shit.
Dr. Oz, you know, he had a daytime TV show.
Okay.
Like, probably about to be the next Fauci type of tip. Like, you know, he one of them big daytime show doctors. And then, ain't that Rand Paul?
I don't know who the hell Rand Paul is.
You know him. You know him. He a politician.
Oh, okay. I know you're talking about then. All right. Brother Lindsay said this is truly Sodom, unrighteous judgments. Yes. Absolutely.
Y'all want to give these people taxpayer money because they broke the law.
That's out cold, man. For people, our people that's working. It ain't nothing but another form of slavery, modern day slavery or whatnot. Y'all gonna make me pay for something I don't want to pay for this shit. You know what I'm saying? And then what? Some months ago or whatnot, America didn't even want to recognize the slave trade being one of the most, heinous.
That's a good point.
Fucked up crimes in history.
Somebody put out a post. I don't know if Kaepernick said it, but they had his picture up there where he said that they don't want to give out reparations, but they gonna give these January 6th people millions of dollars. It's just another slap in the face. It's just another confirmation of us living amongst the children of the devil.
Right.
Because how can you justify y'all make these laws and then these white people can break them and they get a slap on the wrist and they get reparations, a form of reparation.
Right.
Meanwhile, we grew up hearing about 40 acres and a mule.
Not only that these bastards, flooded our community with crack. You know what I'm saying? That was proven. You know what I'm saying, by different whistleblowers, polices, FBI agents, CIA agents and whatnot. And that's just one thing that they done to us, where it's proven that they done to us and fucked up our neighborhoods and whatnot.
That was crafty counsel.
Exactly, right.
Keep us in a state of sin.
Exactly. And then you got, as far as our people want America, Babylon, to be saved, to be healed. But the scripture in Isaiah says, we tried it. Babylon, we tried. But Babylon can't be healed.
Why would I want this healed?
Exactly.
This is so biased, racist, prejudiced, discriminatory. Like, why would I want this to be healed? I want this to go down.
Exactly. Why do we still want to be under this system?
Under people with this type of mindset.
Exactly.
From the rich and wealthy of them all the way down to the poor gutter, can't even scratch your head, can barely swallow food.
Yep.
They have this embedded hatred, evil eye towards us. You ain't got to do nothing. You can be there to try to help take care of they paralyzed behind.
Exactly. But bring this shit down. We might go through some, trials and tribulations or whatever, but this system need to come down.
It does. Because I'm sick of it. I'm tired of working for the oppressor. I'm tired of, we moved to an area where it seemed like all of my patients is Edomites now. And I've taken care of almost every ethnicity. Of course, my preference is to take care of Judah. But, I just have been running into so many Edomite patients and I'm just tired of them. I'm like, and mind you, they on government assist. This person had government insurance. It wasn't like this was no well-to-do Edomite. But to have a chip on your shoulder and instead of looking at why did God paralyze me at a young age, this woman was paralyzed in her 20s. And here we are 10 years later, and for you to be mean and bitter, that's what they was telling me before she woke up. She don't like people like that because she a bitter soul. And I know a lot of us, sometimes we go through a phase, we're like, God, why did this happen, this and that? But, I'm so glad you're finna cover this. I'm gonna cut that short. I want you to get to this.
Yeah.
This
all
right here.
This next story is this case concerning Julio Fulio. I know y'all probably heard of him and know the story behind these people taking this man's life or whatnot. We know that Julio Fulio was doing some things that he shouldn't have been doing. Going on people's graveyards and, making rap videos and talking about them and all that stuff. But these guys, they got found guilty. They got sentenced. They escaped death or whatever. There you go. Okay. And YouTube probably flagged this video and shit because I killed the insect and zapped his ass. But they found these guys guilty, and they was talking about giving him the death sentence. But they brought this goddamn, what do you call it, a warden in, or ex-warden in, to where they saved these dudes' life so they can use them for slavery.
Crafty counsel.
Exactly, right. But let's look at this video and we'll be right back.
Y'all hear what that judge told Sean Garthright, the person that unalived Julio Fulio?
And based on Mr. Garthright's age, physical abilities, things like that, do you think that the prison would benefit from him in a work capacity if he were sentenced to life without parole?
I say yes, with my experience, not only just in classification, but as former warden and even as a jail administrator. He's someone that's young, he's healthy. In reality, we need that labor, we need that sweat equity, and we will put him out there to work because we do have an aging prison population, jail administration. We have that, so we put these young individuals to work and get some sweat equity out of them since they are young and actually can do the work.
Sweat equity? In all my life, I ain't never heard of paying for nothing with sweat equity. Keep thinking you want to be a YN. Keep thinking you want to spend on the ops. I'm telling you, you're going to be bunk mates with Dirty Fred for the rest of your life, man. For the rest of your life, it ain't worth it. Sean Garthright was 18 when he went to jail, man. 18. You think that man really enjoyed life? You think he really experienced what life has to offer? You better get out these streets and get in somebody's school, get in somebody's job, go get you a girlfriend and sit down somewhere. The same people that's promoting you to throw your life away won't be there when the judge gives you a life sentence, and they won't be there when that cell door closed, man. For real.
God damn, he was 18. And I agree with this dude, you know what I'm saying, who put this video out or whatnot, man. You know, these young dudes, they just throwing their life away like it's candy and shit. Like, you know, you can't find something else better to do than have some beef with a rapper, you know, who I mean, y'all seen his fate. He wasn't gonna last too long, you know, going on people's graves and, you know, making videos and antagonizing them and all that stuff. He wasn't gonna last too long. But now, what did my man say? Sweat equity?
Don't give him the death penalty.
Right.
Let's work the slave and get some sweat equity, some labor out of him for whatever state this is.
I was just
state of Mississippi want this here ditch cleared out.
I was just telling her telling my wife while we was watching this video, like, this ain't nothing but, you know, back in the days when they had the big buff the slaves or whatnot, and they was like, look, no, we ain't gonna toss him over the boat. He can get a lot of good work out of him.
Yeah, everybody who was okay, so this is something I seen at work, and I mentioned it to you, but you had seen it too. That's what people were saying. This is a modern auction.
Yep.
That's what this is. While he's sitting there, he bet not open his mouth. They decide, should we kill you or should we keep you? Should we let you live? Should we let you die? The only reason we're gonna let you live is because you're so young, and we want you to work for free or for 3 cents a day, whatever. Exactly. And then to backtrack on Julio Fulio mama sitting up there, because you know they called her to have words, and she talking about how wonderful her son was, and I'm like, ma'am, your son was just pouring salt in the wound on dead people at the grave site.
Right. Yeah.
Your son wasn't no upstanding citizen, respectfully.
Exactly. Damn, Brother Lenzel said they're about to be braiding chest hairs, right? Man, yeah. Yeah, because it's a totally whole different story once you get up in that goddamn prison or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Especially for these young dudes. Mm-hmm. 18 years old, you still wet behind the ears. You still, you know, you just not coming out the goddamn front porch. And now You know what I'm saying? You know, dudes crying and all that stuff. Oh, your ass wasn't crying when you had them goddamn milestones and them goddamn assault rifles and shit.
Yeah, and tracked him down because he was somewhere else.
Yeah.
And they tracked him down. This girl helped.
Yeah, she got 15 years. I think it was yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday. They sent her to 15 years. She thought she was going to get like 8 years or something like that. But she in the goddamn courtroom with her lawyer laughing and, you know what I'm saying, whatever they was talking about, she laughing. And I'm thinking like, ain't no way I'll be up in that mug laughing.
Right, you getting 15 years. What's the laugh about?
You ain't lying. And these dudes, the other dudes, they'd never get out. They'd never see a day of light.
And that's what I want to say. You know, my son is 21. And when I see young men like this, I can't, you know, I think of it from a mother's perspective. And I'm like, for you to get caught up in this crowd and feel the need to kill another black man, now he gone and now your life gone, you'll never have children. If you don't, you'll never have children. And you just gave your life to people, the conversation that they having about you while you sit in there, about how they can work you like a effing dog. That's the only reason your life is spared.
They just killed 5 stones with five birds with one stone. Cause the 4 dudes, they going away for life. Julio Fulio, he gone. So just like that. And they ain't have to do shit.
As if they care about Julio Fulio's life.
Right, exactly.
Esau don't care about a black man killing another black man, but it goes back to the scriptures in the Apocrypha, I believe, the ones that talk about you got to keep the Israelites in sin. You got to keep them in sin so God won't protect them, so they can continue to be under these curses. Because they don't care about Julio Fulio. That's not the point.
Nope.
The point is, the Department of Corrections can use this labor. You a young buck.
Yep.
You got probably, if you 18, you could probably work real hard for 20 and then a decent amount for another 20. That's 40 years of work.
Exactly. And I'm gonna tell you like this. When I was in prison or whatever, I was working for 12 cents an hour. 12 cents an hour, right? Working 10 days out 10 hours out the day. You know, I'll probably get Sunday off or whatever, but other than that, you working. And if you don't work, guess what? Sit in the corner pocket. In the corner pocket, that's the hole. You sit your ass down in the hole or whatever, you know what I'm saying? I done spent about 30 days in the hole. You know what I'm saying? Not that it was nothing that I did. I was just getting transferred to another prison. And when you know, I went to Atlanta, you know, because they flew me from Elkton, Ohio to Atlanta. From Atlanta, I had to stay in Atlanta for 30 days in the hole, you know what I'm saying? And then I flew from Atlanta to Lexington, Kentucky, where I finished off my time or whatnot, getting into this drug program. But yeah, man, that shit, man, that jail shit, man. And I'm glad that, you know, I taught my son, you know what I'm saying, as far as about him controlling his emotions and all that stuff, you know what I'm saying? You know, you got to control your emotions, son. You know, you gonna have them, but you got to make sure you control them. You know what I'm saying? A lot of our young men don't have that father figure. You know what I'm saying? And it's important. It's very important for a father to be in his son's life. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what a man going through with his mother. You know, I know it can be difficult. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of this is because the father's not there. You know what I'm saying? The father with a mindset to be like, okay, I want my son to live. You know what I'm saying? I don't want him to be out here, you know what I'm saying, just throwing his life away like that. Cause these young men probably had some, you know, some bad upbringings and whatever, and then look, the no guidance. You know what I'm saying? And it's messed up, man, to that we got to see this and seeing what they doing to our young men. This is modern day slavery.
It is. The wording that they used was outrageous.
Yeah.
You know, I don't even think this had to be something they had to discuss openly.
Right, exactly.
But,
right.
you know, Esau and they
Esau.
They arrogance but let it be an example. Unfortunately, because you did take somebody else's life, in the Old Testament say an eye for an eye.
Yeah.
So now your life is taken.
Exactly.
And let it be an example to the rest of these young men out here what they fate can be.
Exactly. Brother Lenzel got a scripture for us. It's Matthew 12:29. Or else how can one enter into a strong man's house and spoil his goods except he first bind the strong man, and then he will spoil his house. Exactly. That strong man being a man. Cut the head off, the body gonna fall. Exactly, man. That scripture right there on point, Brother Lenzel. Appreciate you on that. You always on point with the scriptures, man. You know, but man, it's just layers to this. It is.
The act that they committed towards the brother, because we was following this when they kind of like tracked him down.
Exactly right
for his birthday, and so it was premeditated. And then, you know, as you follow a story, then to hear, you know, this went viral.
Right.
The wording that they used to talk about the only reason we gonna spare his life because we can get work out of him. And all the black people like, whoa, this the auction block. This is slavery.
Right.
And somebody commented like, slavery still exists and is legal. If you've been convicted of a crime, you can be enslaved.
Exactly. Yes.
In America.
And when people talk about, you know what I'm saying? Well, have you ever been in slavery? You know. You didn't get put in slavery or whatnot. I'm an example of it. You know what I'm saying? I had to, you know, when I went to prison, I was in slavery. I had all my rights taken away or whatever, and I had to do something that I didn't want to do. So when I dare one of these people ask me or whatnot, you know, well, you ain't been in slavery, so reparations shouldn't be, you know, given to you or whatever. I beg to differ. But I don't want y'all punk ass reparations or whatever. We gonna get our reparations. We want the world.
Right.
That's our reparations.
And again, who want to be under a system where this is how they speak about us?
Right. Exactly. Facts.
That's just like
facts.
This make the hairs on your arm stand up.
Exactly.
When you hear how they talk about this young man's life.
Exactly. Hey, y'all, but y'all know what time it is. We got our boy Ernie, the Edomite, on deck. And we'll be right back, y'all.
I don't like it here anymore. I don't want to be here. Can somebody please help me get out of here? I don't like this place anymore. It's not fun anymore. It's not even interesting anymore. It's a pain in my fucking ass! I hate being here. Somebody help me get out of here.
Oh man, that's crazy, man.
I'm with Ernie the Edomite.
Right, I was just gonna say that too. I'm with my man. I'm gonna get him out of here, man.
I'm tired of Babylon.
Sick of this shit. This shit is getting crazy, man.
I'm over it. The talks of going to Africa keep coming up. It's time for a break.
Man. Oh man, but this has been a good one, y'all. We appreciate, you know, the comments. Brother Lenzel, Brother Huey. Y'all kept the oh man, I made a mistake and did that. Y'all kept the chat on fire. You know, we appreciate y'all rocking with us or whatnot. Keep the commandments. Keep y'all head on the swivel. You know, it talks about them going back to war with Iran. So you know what I'm saying. We just got to, you know, pray, keep these commandments, and you know, just like the song say, look up. Our redemption is nigh.
Cause I'm tired.
Right, we're tired. But with that being said, we're gonna go and get up out of here. Next week, most high willing, same time, same channel. With that being said, we're gonna go and get up out of here. Shalom, y'all.
Shalom, Zion.